And now the time comes.
On the 15th of August 1947, India gained her independence. As elsewhere in the country, this momentous event was greeted with widespread celebrations in the high range. In the same year, Indian managers were inducted for the first time into the administration of the company. The early planters understood the need for conservation. To preserve the local flora and fauna for posterity, they set up the High Range Wildlife and Environment Preservation Association as early as 1928. Later, it was the association that persuaded the central government to declare Erraviculam a national park. The association also continues to collaborate with the Forest Department in the management of Erraviculam, perhaps the only NGO in the country to be associated with the administration of a national park. Over the years, recreation has been actively encouraged. The Finlay Shield football tournament, started in the early 1940s, continues to be as popular as ever today, whipping up a great deal of enthusiasm. The Kannan Devan Hills Lands Resumption Act of 1971 was a major development. The government took over certain areas in the concession, exempting the areas under T, building sites, burial grounds, playgrounds, etc. 3 years later, 58,740 acres, including the exempted areas, were restored to the company. In 1964, Tatas, in association with the Finlays, established an instant tea factory near Munnar. 1973 saw the introduction of the Foreign Exchange Regulation Act, under which the Indian government required foreign companies to Indianize their holdings by 60%. The Tatas purchased the complete business interests of the Finlay Group, and the new company, Tata Finlay Limited, was born. In 1983, the Finlay Group exited their plantations in India, which were taken over entirely by Tata Tea Limited. The advent of Tata Tea saw an era of all-round development and innovation. To eliminate the dependence on the auctions and ensure that teas reached customers in the shortest possible time, a novel scheme was introduced: packeting of teas. This was followed by the setting up of one of Asia's largest tea factories at Chanduvarrai Estate. Later, an automated tea factory was constructed at Madhupetti, and cultivation of organic tea was introduced at Chanduvarrai Estate. In particular, the Tata era is remembered for its significant contributions to healthcare, education and community development, the cornerstones of the group's policy. The General Hospital, the company's main referral facility in Munnar, was thoroughly modernized. Today, a team of committed medical personnel, assisted by state-of-the-art equipment, provides specialized healthcare not only for the company's employees, but also for thousands of non-company personnel as well. The prestigious High Range School was built in 1985. A co-educational institution, it is well known for its academic excellence and holistic approach to education. Later, Shrishti was established, a unique example of compassion and care for the physically and mentally challenged. Here, the differently abled children of employees are provided free education, specially tailored to meet their individual needs. They are also taught various vocational skills as part of their rehabilitation into the mainstream of society. Atulya is a novel concept of creating wealth from waste. Here, differently abled students and adults learn the art of producing handmade paper and stationery using natural additives found in the plantations. Aranya is synonymous with creativity. It revives the ancient art of textile dyeing using organic pigments found in nature. The project turns out a fascinating range of dyed fabrics whose brilliant hues and elegant colors are much sought after by the fashion industry. The production of high-range strawberry preserve not only allows the employees additional income through strawberry farming, but also generates gainful employment for differently abled youngsters. In a modern plant, they produce a truly delicious preserve using natural ingredients and fresh strawberries. These three projects continue to be administered by the Tatas, proof of their abiding commitment to social welfare. Faced by a prolonged crisis arising from depressed tea prices, in 2005, Tata Tea decided to exit its plantations in order to focus on brands. To safeguard their interests and livelihood, the employees in the plantations in Munnar were offered a unique employee buyout scheme whereby they would become part owners of the business enterprise. Thus, 69% of the shareholding passed into the hands of the employees, with the Tatas retaining 18% and 7% with the trust. The remaining 6% are held by ex-employees and others. Once again, the name of the brand changed. The Kannan Devan Hills Plantations Company Private Limited came into being on the 1st of April 2005. It is the first and largest participatory management company in India, with 97% of the 12,500 strong workforce being shareholders. New ideas need innovative implementation. In a radical shift from the past, the company has introduced a bottom-up management plan rather than the traditional top-to-bottom hierarchy. A multi-tiered system of committees is in place to advise on the functioning of the company from the divisional level, which is the smallest administrative unit. The workers and staff are each represented by a director on the board. The first worker director, incidentally, was a woman. To help raise the standard of living further and promote independence, self-help groups function effectively in each estate. As the name implies, these groups aim to make the workers self-reliant. Life in the Kannan Devan Hills has turned a full circle. Today, the third and fourth generations of the early workers who helped to raise the plantations have taken destiny in their own hands. Each employee is now a proud shareholder of the company that their forefathers had helped to build. It is a truly unique philosophy that instills a sense of individual pride and responsibility. The success of this model is tellingly reflected in the awards bagged by the company in the prestigious Golden Leaf competition that selects the best teas in South India. The Kannan Devan Hills Plantations Company won as many as 6 awards in the inaugural competition and won 4 awards in 2007, the maximum won by any organization. The company strives to create a business model that is environment-friendly, economically viable, energy-efficient, and technologically innovative. Tea remains a favorite and affordable health drink for the common man. It is perhaps the only plant that yields money every week for well over a century. The industry is highly labor-intensive, providing employment for thousands of unskilled people while earning crucial foreign exchange for the country. During the past century, a distinct plantation culture has evolved in these hills. It reflects a love for the indigenous people, the wildlife, and the ecology of this hauntingly beautiful region. This deep sensitivity is ingrained in the fact that the people who owned the land for well over a century chose to cultivate only 1/3 of it, preserving and enriching the remaining area as God's own country. It is a place that entices each visitor to build a personal relationship with nature.